Also developing tonight, this Independence Day marks 20 years of mourning and searching for answers for a family from Orange. On July 4th, 2002, Dannarriah Finley was snatched from her room in the middle of the night. 4 days later, her body was found on Pleasure Island. Police never made an arrest in Dannarriah's case, but they say they are confident that with new technology and the right tips from the public, they can solve the case and give the family some closure. 12 News reporter Simona Barca joins us. And Simona, I understand they're even going to be retesting some evidence.
That's right, Jordan. They're planning to do just that. The anniversary of her death is a time when people in Orange stop and remember what happened. All these years later, they refuse to give up hope.
This is probably the most unique case in Southeast Texas.
Unique, baffling, terrifying. The Dannarriah Finley case has haunted Southeast Texas for 20 years.
We searched and searched. Everybody was afraid. Everybody was holding their children close to them. And because nothing had happened like that in Orange, Texas.
On July 4th, 2002, Dannarriah Finley was snatched from her bedroom in the middle of the night. 4 days later, her body was found on Pleasure Island, raped and murdered. Orange PD, state law enforcement, and the FBI all searched and investigated, but never made any arrests. But with new technology, there may be hope.
In Dannarriah's case, there's not necessarily untested evidence, but there may be, for lack of a better term, undertested evidence. So what they did in 2018, even up into 2019, we may have an improvement.
Brandon Bess, an investigator with the Texas Rangers, says they're planning on retesting evidence found at the scene. He says with new and improved technology, it might be able to pick up smaller samples of DNA.
There's 2 items of evidence that they recovered that we believe we're now going to retest again.
But more than that, he believes will be a new tip from the public that will crack this case open.
I think the most important part of this case that will solve this case is the right witness coming forward. Everyone agrees that the folks that were involved in this absolutely talked to someone else. They did not keep this a total secret.
Bess believes this may not have been a one-person job.
We believe multiple persons at least knows about this, and that there's somebody out there that could bring us that little piece of information that, they may not think is important, but that is.
And he's not the only one still looking into Dannarriah's case.
This is the epitome of cases in the city of Orange, and so anybody that works here knows the details of this case. We are constantly reviewing things. This isn't something we put on the back burner and just forget about. It's in the forefront of all of our cases.
For those who were there when it happened, even 20 years later, it's hard to stop looking over their shoulder.
Even in my congregation, I'm somewhat nervous when I see little children coming downstairs by themselves to use the restroom. I've never forgotten what happened to Dannarriah Finley.
And investigators ask if you have any information, even if you think it's insignificant, to call the Orange Police Department, Texas Rangers, or you can submit an anonymous Crime Stoppers tip. There is still a reward on the table for any tips that lead to finding Dannarriah's killer. I'm Simona Barca, 12 News.